Hey guys, it's Toasty Fresh, and I'm here with a big PS2 haul. All that you see before us is what I picked up on one of my latest bars. It was from a pretty cool dude actually, who loved his RPGs. Got talking to him for a bit actually. It was off a local selling site on Facebook. He was selling this big bundle of PlayStation 2 stuff for about £70 he wanted. I knocked him down a little bit, and he said okay. And I thought I couldn't pass it up really. No one else seemed to be taking an interest, so I thought I had to snatch this up. There's some great games that I could see amongst the stuff that I was going to keep, and the console as well. I'll probably end up keeping. But here we go. I'll just show you over a few of the things that I've got. And another thing that was a great little addition for me is this play on steering wheel. So it's only a third party one, and not one that I've not really heard of, but it is a steering wheel, so I haven't got one already, so any kind of thing like that is going to be cool. I did pass up the chance to get one from a charity shop, and I really regret it. It was one of the Ferrari ones, I think, for the PlayStation 1. I really wish I'd have picked that up. But here you go, I'll just show you, it's all in here, and it's still in like the little polythene wrapping that it came in. There's the pedals and everything like that in there. So to finally get a steering wheel for the PlayStation 2/1, I think it'll work with both. It's pretty cool. It's really neat, and it'll be fun to have a go because I've never really done it. I remember one time before playing on Gran Turismo. I think it was in a charity shop. But that's about it. That's my extent of it, apart from arcades and things like that. Another thing, not gaming related, but he also chucked in this flat screen TV. He said just in case you're sticking it in a spare room and you didn't have a little side telly, he said you can have this. It's got a built-in DVD player as well. And it's from Marks and Spencer's, which I didn't know Marks and Spencer's had their own branding telly, but hey, there you go. Now you do. But I'll try not to waffle on about non-gaming stuff because we've got lots of stuff to go through. As you can see there, there's a stack of PlayStation 1 stuff, but we'll get back to that later. Let's get on to the meat of the things, which is the PlayStation 2 stuff. So let's show you. And I'm sorry if you're going to get a bit seasick with this because I'm using my phone. No expenses spared here. There's no quality video cameras, any of that guff. It's old low-tech stuff on my channel, I'm afraid. And here you go. This is the console that was part of the bundle. It's the PlayStation 2 Slim model, obviously, and it's a silver one, so that's pretty cool. So I'll probably be keeping hold of this because I've already got the black one, but I didn't have the silver one, and I've seen it a few times and been sorely tempted to get it. And also with the pink one, I've seen a few pink bundles, but because they didn't have great games with them as well, I just passed them up for some reason. I don't really have the money to keep going out and buying, 20 different colours of each console. It's like at the moment there's an metallic blue PlayStation, the old fat one, and I don't know if it's a really rare one or not, and I'm really intrigued to buy it, but again it's £40 plus, and the games aren't great with it, so I've just kind of left it alone for the minute. There's your power brake and your power lead. I thought it did have a SCART extension with it. Oh, there's the AV cables there as well. They're tangled up in it as well. I thought it did have a SCART extension, but it doesn't. But that's not too bad. Nothing to worry about because I've already got one for the various other consoles that I've got. Like I said, I've got another slim PlayStation 2, and I've got two fat ones as well. So I will be bundling up some of these games with one of my old fat ones, and I'll probably be getting rid of it to kind of offset the cost of this. But let's just show the other hardware stuff before we go on to the games. And I've got a DualShock 2 controller, a black one. I've got another black one there, DualShock 2 controller. So hopefully if those both do work, that's great, because I've got a lot of controllers, but some of them are quite iffy. There's the first analog controller there for the PlayStation 1 as well. That's a pretty sweet pickup. And there's also here a silver DualShock that's obviously the companion to the console that we've got. And also making an appearance is an R-Toy, which I already have an R-Toy, so this is again, I think I'm going to bundle this with a PlayStation 2 and finally sell one of my consoles. 'Cause I'm a bit of a hoarder. I've got a lot of spare copies of games already for the PlayStation 2 that I've got from different means, like not meaning to buy them up really, but I've just got them in other bundles of games and things like that. I'm not really a person that goes out to buy games really to sell them on. I just end up acquiring stuff, and most of it I haven't actually really sold, and I don't really do a great job of it. I remember I sold an what is it, only really for cost, and original Xbox that I got. I had the original black colour, and I sold it because I've already got one, a crystal one, so I kept the crystal edition and I sold the other one to save some space. Anyway, I'm rambling on. This is the G-Con, very famous light gun, the most iconic PlayStation light gun probably in history. Everyone's played this with time casters. I didn't actually have one. I had an bright banana yellow one, third party. I can't remember which one, who made it, but that's the one I had at the beginning. And then I got another one that was pretty cool actually because it had a recoil action on it. But I forgot what mate that was as well. But this was the one that I really wanted to get and I never did. So it's cool to have it now. I don't know if it's got a little bit missing off it because I got the G-Con 2 that's got this, and there's meant to be another little thing that goes on it, I think, to connect it. Plus, I don't have an old CRT TV, so I really could do with picking one up. But to be honest, the house that I'm in now is smaller, and loads of my games are packed away in boxes and things like that. So I doubt I'm going to get a CRT TV soon. So a lot of these light gun games are just going to have to be gathering dust for a little while, really. Unless I've got an absolutely massive back garden now, which is one of the upsides to this house. And I might be building a man cave in there maybe, because we have got a loft that I could convert, but it's a little bit small. It'd be a bit small anyway, maybe, I think. Anyway, let's go over the stuff. We've got an action replay card here. It's the first time I've ever had like a memory card kind of one. I mean, I've had on the PlayStation 1s, I used to have an Explorer cartridge that went into the back of the console, but not a memory card kind of version like this. But this is cool. But this guy was obviously into his cheats and cheat codes and things like that, because in a lot of these games, there's cheat codes and things like that, little notes he's written about how to, different cheats for various games. Like this one's in, obviously, the Grand Theft Autos and things like that. But a lot of the other games, there's cheats in them, like the Suffering's in here somewhere, and there's cheat codes for that, which I never even knew about. But there's another two cheat systems as well. There's Explorer Lite, and there's Explorer, the Ultimate Cheat System. This is CD9000, so it works for the PlayStation 1 and 2, this one. I think this one's more just for the PlayStation 2. But I never had any cheat systems and that kind of thing post the PlayStation 1, like I said. And I'm sure it used to be called, someone can actually help me with this one, I'm sure it used to be called Explorer and it changed to Explorer afterwards. So I'm sure the cartridge I was called an Explorer cartridge for the PlayStation 1, but that's the one I have. And in here and now, I've got an action replay cartridge now with a PlayStation 1 that I bought. Onto other things. I don't know where the rest of them are actually now, because I think they've all slipped down the sides. But I've got 3 memory cards with this, I think. And this is the one that interested me the most. I never had one of these back in the day. I never had a big one back in the day. I only ever had an 8 megabyte one. This is a 64 megabyte one. So that'll come in really useful for playing some of these various games and things like that. And I've got quite a few memory cards now piling up, so this is great. I don't know where the rest are, like I said, and I'll probably have to move on to the games. Oh, here we go. Here's some of the stuff. Oh, here we go. And here's another one as well. I've got another PlayStation 1 memory card. I've already got one, and it's a really cool one, and a golden Metal Gear Solid PlayStation 1 memory card. But this is the original grey one, so I'm really as funny as it sounds, I'm really happy to get this one in that kind of colour. I've also got here a Mad Catz one, a third party one that's blue, and I don't know what's with that. What does that serve any kind of purpose? This like plastic thing that's on these third party ones, is it just extra grip or something so it's easier to pull it out? I don't know. And also an official memory card, which I've got in pretty much the same colour. I don't know if this is just a blue one. It's been discoloured, or it's meant to be that colour. Because I've got one that's already see-through blue, but it's like more of a lighter blue than that. That's kind of turquoise. And I've got another remote control, which I already have one of these. So this is another thing that'll probably get bundled up away. I don't know if it's got... Yeah, it's got batteries in it. Hopefully they have not leaked all over the place or anything like that untoward. Anyway, let's get on with showing you some of the great games, and there's some really great games in here. And I'm not just saying that this would have been an amazing bundle for anyone who would have been an aspiring collector. That's why I'm going to bundle it up myself, and hopefully I can sell it to someone who's going to be an actual genuine collector and not someone who's just looking to flip it. Because I'm going to just sell it really just to cover the costs, really. A fair price, but not a really jacked up price either. Anyway, I'll show you some of the games I got with it. And first up, let's start with some strong ones first. And we've got Time Splitters 2, one of the best PlayStation 2 shooters ever made. Absolutely amazing game. And I really like the first one, but that one's pretty hard to get to grips with because of the inverted controls. But this one was amazing. And I had it for the Xbox first, really. I got it bundled in with my Crystal Xbox when I bought that. So I never played it on the PlayStation, but great shoot 'em up there. Let's move on to some of the other games. Again, great game. Another gaming kind of video nasty here. The Punisher, really great game, really entertaining, and I like the kind of different thing slant they put on this with the kind of interrogations and things like that. I played that one all the way through to the end. And we've got another classic there, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And there's nothing more needs to be said about this. Grand Theft Auto, everything that made Grand Theft Auto 3 great, but added a helicopters, bikes, and a great 80s soundtrack and setting. Just not more to say about it. Awesomeness on disc there. The Mark of Cree, another great little game. Third-person action game. With some kind of stealth elements put in as well. I think you could kind of play it different kinds of way. You could just do full-on fighting. But there's also stealth in there as well. And a kind of different kind of Maori kind of setting in that as well. And there you go, it's complete as well. I've already got that, so that's just another bonus game for me. Manhunt as well. Another video nasty, speaking of them. Yeah, and a little bit of trivia. One of the people that's pursuing you is voiced by, I forget the guy's name, but it's the guy who does the voice for Jake the dog out of Adventure Time and Bender in Futurama. He's actually on this. He also did the voice for Whacker in Final Fantasy X. And not a lot of people like that character. But I didn't actually mind him that bad. It was pretty sometimes cringeworthy, but it wasn't too bad. The laughing scene always got me in that game though. And here we have Sims 2. Everyone knows about the Sims really, who's involved in gaming. So there you go, that's it one. I've not played that. I did have Sims busting out though when I was growing up. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. It's kind of a movie tie-in. I don't know how good it is. I never played it, so I don't have that one. So that's one that's new that I don't actually have. Commando Strike Force. I've already got this. This is kind of more of an action-orientated game. I think it's in. I don't think it's still in the Commandos. You know, the strategy games. I think it is one of those, but kind of more of an action squad-based shooter. Conflict Desert Storm 2. I don't have this. I just have Conflict Desert Storm, so that's a new one. Same kind of thing, shooting game. Beverly Hills Cop. I should have known with a blast. But I thought, oh, Beverly Hills Cop, I wonder how good it is. And then I looked on the back, and look at that, to be honest. I don't know how clear my phone's showing it, but it's just a game that, and it's the same with most of these blast games, they can't even hide how crap the games look, even on the back. You know how with some games, you just look at the thing and you never know, it might be alright. You just look at them and just think, oh no, this is going to be an unmitigated pile of crap. It really is. But I'm going to move on because I don't want to be too long really on this video. I'm boring you guys. So if some games I just touch on quickly, you'll have to forgive me. Call of Duty Finest Hour, I don't know if I've got this one, but they made a hell of a lot of games. So I don't think I've got it. This is a new one for me as well. Heroes, A Might of Magic, Quest for the Dragonborn Staff. 3DO though, infamous for making shockingly bad games. I do have the other one, you know, the guy with the mask on his face. I've got that one, Heroes, A Might of Magic, but that one I've not got. Cell Damage Overdrive. I did buy this actually in a little bundle of games from a guy in just a few towns over from me. It's a great little cell shaded kind of what do you call it? Weapon based game, kind of like a thing between Mario Kart and Twisted Metal kind of thing, but a bit more innocent. Ghost Hunter. That's a cool kind of game as well. Devil May Cry, everyone knows about that really as well, so there's no point really going into that one in too much detail. Crazy Taxi, classic Dreamcast game there, and I'm going to keep this one because it's in the original case. I've got like a platinum case of that. Final Fantasy 12. A good game, really, but it was kind of the beginning of me not being as enamoured with Final Fantasy, and the same with this game too. Final Fantasy X-2. That was the point where my absolute adoration for the series kind of waned a little bit. 10 was the last great one for me, and that is down here. We've got 10 as well. Wait a minute, no, that's Grand Theft Auto. We've got 10 down here. Just in the slide list, some faded case there. Also other RPGs, because like I said, this guy was an RPG nut. Eternal Ring, Craven Ubisoft. There's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've already got that. I bought that for kind of my little girl. Endgame, which is a kind of underrated light gun game actually. This is a light gun game in the same vein as kind of Time Crisis, but the kind of budget version of Time Crisis. It had some really fun mini games on it and a quite a fun story and kind of things like that to it. And I think it's never gets mentioned in terms of people talking about light gun games, but it was really enjoyable to say how little it cost and how quickly its price went down. I remember buying that back in the day. One of the best arcade races ever made there, Burnout 3 Takedown. Absolutely doing yourself an injustice if you don't have that in your collection. Fightbox, that's based off an old BBC series. Kind of like Robot Wars, but virtual reality. Evergrace, I've actually got this complete now because it's got the instruction booklet in it. I already have it, but without the instruction booklet. Kingdom Hearts 2, another fantastic role-playing game there. But I've already got it, so that's one that could be up for grabs. Haven, Call of the King, nice little platforming adventure game. Crazy Frog Racer. Not more needs to be said about that one. Inspector Gadget, the Mad Robots Invasion. We've shown Heroes A Might of Magic. I just stuck that in at the end. Other games, we've got Grand Theft Auto 3 there to go with Vice City. Gun, a fantastic precursor there to Red Dead Redemption. Nothing to do with Red Dead Redemption, but it kind of started that ball off rolling. It was a great game to champion the Western before that came out. We've got another GTA 3 there. There's two of them. You're not being deceived. Gran Turismo 4, solid racer. I enjoyed it. The best one. And this too. I'd probably say this one I played more from what I can think. And this is the original in the red case as well. And that's the original casings. We've got R-Toy Play and R-Toy Play 3, which I've already got there to use and test out the R-Toy to check it works. Vice City is again in here, that's twice. Harry Potter the Goblet of Fire, that's another like movie cash in. James Bond Everything and Nothing, that's a kind of standalone story. There's also Rogue Agent, which I already have for the original Xbox, but I'll be keeping this because I don't have it for the PlayStation 2. There's a copy of Juice, which is kind of loose, it's not really in a proper case there. And it's Juice 2. That's a follow-up, but in here it's actually a platinum copy of the first game, so very confusing there. And another RPG that I've actually got now, I didn't have before, and I haven't really played and don't know much about it, Draken. So I'll be looking forward to having a little look at that one. It's not the most valuable RPG going, but I always love to add new ones to the collection. There's Charlie's Angels there, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's Chaos Legion, another kind of role-playing, hack and slash kind of role-playing game though. Colin McRae, 2004. There's Area 51, first-person shooter. We've got Conflict Vietnam. I've already got that. There's also Hercules. Don't know what that's about. I think that's more of a budget one as well. And we've gone over all those now. And on to the second box. Like I said, that's why I didn't want to waffle too long on stuff, because there's a big ass lot of games. Here you've got a couple of games that aren't in cases. There's Star Wars Starfighter, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, Spyro A New Beginning, Tony Hawk's Underground, World Rally Championship, Rally Evolved, and 007 Nightfire, another one of them kind of standalone titles. There's a bunch of games here. There's Micro Machines V4. I don't have this one. I've got the other Micro Machines game for the PlayStation 2, but not that one. Sandbox, great fun game there. Just Cause. Legends of Wrestling. I've not really played loads of this because I was into the kind of WWF. Okay, so we ran out of battery last time, so I'm just going to go over the last few games here. We mentioned Legends of Wrestling last time out. That was just as I cut out. I think I mentioned Rising Sun and Just Cause, so I'll go from here. Yeah, Legends of Wrestling's never really played that. That's Acclaim made that, who used to make the WWF games before THQ took over. Let's just go on to the other stuff. There's Micro Machines V4, which I own the other one for the PlayStation 2, but I didn't have this one, so that's a cool pickup. Madagascar I've already got. I think I'd already picked that up for my little girl, so that's a bit of a copy. There's Jumanji there, another that Blast label, which doesn't guarantee quality. Obviously there, as you see the screenshots again, like I said, they can't really disguise how crappy the games are really. They made another game, I think Home Alone was another movie tie-in they did. This is Midway Arcade Treasures, a great one for retro enthusiasts here, with Joust, Paperboy, Spy Hunter, Gauntlet, my personal favourite, Smash TV. Love playing that. It's got a kind of Running Man vibe to it, and a really great fun game to play. Moving on, we've also got this London Racer World Challenge. Not really played any of those games. We've got a squad-based third-person actioner, Project Eden. Kind of interesting storyline. The people behind the original Tomb Raider games in core design. Naval Ops Warship Gunner. It's a bit of a departure from Koei. Usually they did the kind of Kessen type of ancient Chinese games. This is more of a modern war gunner. It looks like it might actually be interesting. You build your own ship and add different weapons and all that kind of stuff to it. So I'll have to have a look at that actually. The Da Vinci Code. Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, a couple of like cash-hitting games there. Super Buster Move, a good little puzzle game. We've got an RC Pro, a few Acclaim games here. RC Revenge Pro as well. We're carrying on with the RPGs as well. We've got Summoner, a great game, and one that filled the void until some of the big guns in role-playing turned up on the PlayStation 2, and was also the very first kind of PC type role-playing game on a PlayStation. So, and it was a really cool game. I had fun with it, an interesting story and character as well. And there's also a second one that was a female protagonist actually, so a lot of people saying about, oh, there's a lack of female protagonists in games and things like that. You know, there was strong female roles even as far as back then, and that one was good. It wasn't as good, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but it was a still pretty good game and well worth a play. Right, let's just get into the other stuff now quickly. Penny Racers, which is kind of like a Micro Machines, budget Micro Machines type game. Red Dead Revolver, the real precursor to Red Dead Redemption there, which is more of an linear title. Rune Vacuum Warlords, that was Take-Two, who were involved in the Grand Theft Auto games, were involved in that. I don't have that one, so that's a cool one. Orphan the Sign of Sorcery, this is had the honour of being the first ever game that I paid for that wasn't bundled in with my PlayStation 2, and it was kind of purely down to the fact that it was the only game I could afford at the time, with having to buy a memory card. It's like memory cards, I forgot how much they were when they first came out. It was around about £25 or something like that, so this was the only game I could afford, because games were still quite expensive back then. I got mine right at launch. Robot Warlords, that's an early title as well. Midas, again involved in that one. Another Dreamcast game there, remade, called Veronica X. Scooby-Doo, Nights of 100 Threats. I've got that one already. I picked that one up for my little girl before. She's had a bit of a go on it. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, another classic FPS there, making it to the PlayStation 2 in a new form. And this was an iconic one for me as well. Red Faction, really great game. Volition, admit that still the best in the series for me. Primal, I've already got this, and I've got 2 copies of it. I've got this on the special edition, so this is a spare. Great little puzzler / third person platformer action game. Jedi Starfighter, our own kind of Rogue Squadron for the PlayStation, and they were quite good actually. I enjoyed them. I've not played that one, but I played the original, the Star Wars Starfighter. Pro Evo 4, I never really played them. I always played FIFA. Prince of Persia Warrior Within. Quest for Sleeping Beauty, kind of another budget title. SSX3, I'd not played them at that point. I did have SSX, and we had Tricky, but kind of fell away from the series at that point. 2 different copies of Time Crisis 2. Classic arcade shooter, put many 50p's in into that, which is kind of showing my age, because all the arcades have gone to like £1 a go now. It's cost you a small fortune to play in certain arcade places now. The Incredibles, already got that as well. That was another title I kind of picked up from my little girl. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, I've already got that one too. The Suffering, survival horror with a bit more of an action slant, and also had a kind of good bad paradigm to it as well. Theme Park World, I don't own a proper Theme Park World for the consoles. I've got an empty case of Theme Park for the PlayStation 1, but I don't have the disc. It's got the instructions in the box, so that's really good to have. And I've got Theme Hospital, but it's for the PC, so I'm really glad to have that alongside. I love those kind of games, and Constructor and those kind of games. Not the same people made Constructor, but it was along the same lines. Trivial Pursuit, The Hobbit. That's one of the few Lord of the Rings games for the PlayStation 2 I haven't got, so that kind of completes the set, even though I don't know if it's different people behind this one. Turok Evolution, I do have this, but it's in Platinum. Tekken 5, which was one of the ones I was really happy about getting from this set, because I've got 4 and I've got all the others for the PlayStation 1, apart from the original actually. And this has got Tekken and Tekken 2 and 3 on it as well. Although, one thing that's slightly disappointing after playing it, you don't get the wonderful soundtracks for the PlayStation. It's got the arcade soundtracks, which aren't as good, I don't think, as the PlayStation ones. The Namco Sound team did a really good job with those. SpongeBob SquarePants, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, Getaway, which is kind of an English answer to Grand Theft Auto, Gold Compass, Unreal Tournament, World Tour, kind of hover scooter game. I don't know who asked for that, but they made it anyway. Beautiful Joe, rock solid game, great visuals as well. And being a Capcom game, it kind of goes in with some of the other games like Ghosts and Ghouls for the difficulty level. Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit, don't have that, so that one could be one that my younger kids play. Wipeout Fusion, I've already got. Snooker 2002 World Championship. Worms Blast. I don't have this. I've got one of the Worms games. I forgot which one it's called now, but this is another one to the collection. 13, great little cell shaded game when that was big in fashion. A first person shooter to use it, which is kind of before Borderlands and that kind of thing. Took that ahead as well. 187 Ride or Die. My brother had this kind of a combat game, a weapon combat game. He had it for the original Xbox though, and Sims 2 again. And we'll quickly go on now to the PlayStation 1 stuff as well that I got, just to make the deal a bit sweeter. There's Driver 2, which I've already got back on the streets. This is a platinum version. I can't remember if I've got the original Black Label version. I've not really played much of that one. I've played the hell out of the original. Power Rangers Town Force. I was growing out of that by then. Sadly, I've got a copy of a brilliant game, Broken Sword 2, but the manual and the front cover's missing from that, and it's a bit beat up, this case, but if it works, it's still a great game to go ahead and play. I did a playthrough of that, actually. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, great game. I've got it on the Dreamcast as well, and now I've got it for the PlayStation 2. Crystal Dynamics made some quality games, involved in some of the Tomb Raider games later on, I think, as well. And there's obviously Gex the Gecko. Lion and the King, so it's kind of Lion King rip-off game. It's like a kind of budget game. There's a few of those. And one of the games that I was really excited to get, and one of the reasons I went out and hunted this bundle down, Destruction Derby 2, I had great fun with this growing up. Absolutely great game. I got it bundled in with my PlayStation 1 that my mum bought for me for my birthday in 96. And I went out and actually bought the original Destruction Derby as well after the fact. Great game. Tomb Raider 3. I didn't really play them much beyond the first one. I had the first one bundled in with my PlayStation 1 as well, but I never went out and bought any of the others. I just borrowed them off friends. I remember borrowing the second one, and my brother had this. I don't really remember playing much of it, to be honest. Everybody's Golf 2. That'd be a cool game, because I don't have any kind of golfing games, and this is kind of, if I did play golfing games enthusiastically, this is the one I'd probably play. Alien Trilogy, I've already got this, and I think mine's a platinum. It's not a value series one. Another little Doom style FPS. And speaking of those, Duke Nukem, one of the other more famous ones. I've already got this as well, and I've got a Time to Kill. There's this Land of the Babes or whatever it's called that I don't have. So that'll be in for trading. Family Games Compendium, 20 games. So there's some racing and slot machines and all kind of stuff like that. It's kind of a budget title. Final Fantasy IX, an absolutely stunning game that I'm ashamed to say it's one of the few from the PlayStation 1 that I didn't play all the way through to the end. I only got so far into it, and sadly this is probably one I'll be looking to trade, because it is in better condition on the outside than my copy that I've got, but mine's from my childhood. So there's no way I'm getting rid of it, no matter if it is beaten up. So this was the one I was looking to trade on. It's sadly not got the instruction booklet, but all the discs are there. And it'll still make a good addition to somebody's collection, as it is in quite good nick on the outside. Superbike 2002, just a Superbike racing. South Park Racer, so that's kind of like an kart racing game. There's lots of them about, so that's the one with South Park. I don't know if it's any good or not. We've already seen Super Buster Move for the PlayStation 2. This is Buster Move 4. It's a long running series. So from the old classic arcade makers Tato. I'll have to play that, because they are fun games and they are addictive. And finally, last but not least, let's end in Nice Cats, which is also not got a front to it. And it is colouring in and puzzle solving and stuff like that. I think really, and the defence, they're more for little kids, really young children to play them kind of games. But there's some great stuff there in amongst those. And like I said, some absolutely classic PlayStation 1 games there. that are almost worth the price of admission. The sales there, you know, Duke Nukem, Alien Trilogy, and not last but not least, probably Destruction Derby. Some amazing games in there, and all this lot. I've since put away some of the other stuff, but 2 big boxes, all that stuff, and a little TV. It set me back £50 in all. So I think it was a pretty good deal, and at some point I'm going to put together a little bundle and sell them on as well to recoup some of my money. So a lot of these games won't have to cost me even that, hopefully. Anyway, that's just a bit of a showing of a great haul that I collected. It's the first one that I've had for a while, an opportunity to get something like that. So I thought I'd show it off. Anyway, hopefully you've stuck with me through this long rambling video. But I'm going to go now and sort it all out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll come back with some more content pretty soon.